You are not allowed to eat that, Humpy! What's up, everybody? It's Founder 3. We're here with Crixxe. Take it over, Crixxe. What's up, everybody? It's Crixxe. Hang on. Calibration. Gotta love it. Just getting up for the day. We're in the basin! This is the basin, and I love this place. This is actually an old, hollowed out cavern. We are what currently sits at would have been roughly about 12 to 1300 feet below sea level. And everything down here gets covered with silt, so it's a daily effort to clean everything off. Some of the coral foundations are still being utilized. You can see our thermoreactor is working just fine because our actual drives are pumping away. We use thermokinetic energy down here. It's a very eco-friendly environment and usage. Even our kiln is ran off of the thermal energy. These are our kiln workers, hard at work. He keeps the valves going to make sure that we don't blow our steam stacks. And then we've got some of the people getting ready to set up for some of the new smithing. This is some of our coral we break down as an additive to harden some of our steel, as you can see on my glaive. Now, if we look over here, we can see some more of our works. The pipes going up carry the steam up, and then we have the cool return going back down. Very neat system. And also all of the pulleys running to make sure everything runs nice and smooth. It's a continuous operation. This never stops moving. So there's no start and stop or levers or anything to worry about. Nobody to operate any valves for it. Really simple. Hey, this is my secret. Mom, I got your gift and I love him. Where did he go? Wait, this is my secret. You're not my secret. There's my secret. I forgot I re-dyed your feathers. There we are. The plushy Kumari is perfect. I love it. Thank you, Mom. Alright. We're going to head up top. You can see all of this formation in here. This is a natural coral right here. You can see just how large this stuff got back in the ancient time. And we've actually used some of these structures to build our stacks in. And we just allow the silt to kind of build up, and it actually hardens over time. Lightning may strike, the atmospheric effects take hold, and the silt actually hardens, so we don't have to take it off. It actually provides a nice little insulation from the environment, and it also helps to solidify some of our thermal vents and our thermal generators. So that's why they look the way they do. Oof. Okay, now we're going to go down here. We're checking out another area. This is where one of our actual generators, this is the heat stack. You see that we have to actually reinforce this from the sides. We had some monsters, they have access to this area, and we're not going to block it off entirely because that would mess up some of their migration routes. So we keep it open, and we've just went ahead and reinforced it, put some deterrents on the front side of it. We've also got this set up so you can see the drag marks here. We actually open this up from time to time just to make sure that the core is running fine and there's no additional heat running elsewhere if we need to bleed off steam. Let's get up top here. Yeah, we go. And you can see up top, we do keep this cleaned off because these thermal vents actually do serve a purpose. Pretty neat, pretty neat. All of this steel work was actually made back in the homeland and then shipped over here. So the effort was pretty intense to get all of this set up. And you can see some of the battle damage on the railing that we have here. This is required. It's for safety, but there are monsters that come in, they attack, they get mad. We've had some stacks blow before, so you can see this is melted over here. Pretty crazy stuff goes on, but we keep everything safe. Jump down, here we go, and now we can go ahead and head over to another area. And as you can see, we keep this place running really, really clean, but we don't use anything to actually mess around with the environment. It's a big part of what we do here, and a good sign is that the Vespoids just hang out. They don't need to nest anywhere around here. They just come in, they see what's going on. We don't, attack them or anything like that because they're not doing any damage. And then we have some natural formations like this right here. The geodes that fall down or get pushed to the surface, I can actually mine these. We just take the pieces back and we'll grind this down in either to a powder, or some people like to use them as decorations. Oof, okay, they do not like it when you start messing with certain structures like that. The sound vibrations do interact with them, and they do not like that. All right, what else do we got to look at here? Natural bridge formation that's just been covered in silt and over the time. Every so often, one of those pieces will break off, but usually we just fire a slinger shot at it, and it'll knock it down. Not really too concerned about any of that. Natural vines that grow around the area just let us know that the environment and the ecosystem is healthy. And as you can see here, this is a good example. This stuff gets on everything. So people always try and tell me, hey, why don't you clean this stuff off? Well, we don't clean it off because this is what happens. So, not a big deal. Let's get up top here. There we go. All right. And just in case you didn't know, all of these little things flying off in each direction, these are my teleflies, my guiding flies. They're telepathically linked for me. And what they see is what you see. You don't see what I see through my eyes. You see what the telefly sees. So the telefly can actually see the other flies. That's why they're highlighted the way they are. We also have a heads-up display that gets shown, and I can see this myself when I'm connected with my telefly like this. Ooh, what are you? Oh, hello, you. There's a good example. Now, this is one of the monsters that actually comes into the area. They can be aggressive, typically only if their mate is nearby. Otherwise, they usually just like to come down by the riverside or the spring right here. They'll get some water. It looks like he's already done probably just getting a drink. The male and the female actually look really, really similar. The tail is a little bit different between the two, though. That looks like that's a male, I believe. Hard to tell. Yeah, he's just getting a drink of water. Heading back home. Let's get out of the water here. What do we got down in here? So this is one of the cave systems nearby. This is a natural formation again, but this is the stack. Oh, okay. This is another monster. We're not going to interact with this one either. They're just having a little bit of a territory dispute, it looks like. The larger monster uses a type of poison. He's just taking care of business. These have pushed into his area. There you go. That's a nice little turf war going on. And we don't need to interact with him. He's just defending his area from some herbivores that came in. Shouldn't have been there. Otherwise, if he'd been pushing in, oh, get over it. It's not going to do anything. If we'd have made contact, then yes, it would have become aggressive. But we can just leave them alone. Not a big deal. Here are some of the more, I don't even know what I would call these guys. These are more placid. I'm sorry. I'll leave you guys alone. Yeah, they're a little timid. Ooh, hello, big guy. See, my presence here is barely noticed because we don't really make ourselves a problem for these creatures. I'm able to come and go as I please. Now, the other hunters, they like to wear a bunch of armor. They run around with gear on, and I keep telling them, yes, that is useful. Yes, it will help you out. But at the same time, the other monsters will see that. They will notice the patterns on them or the color, the smell, and you'll become a target for them. So not wearing that stuff all over the place may be a little bit more dangerous, but it is a lot easier because you just don't get noticed. Let me get my secret over here. Come on now. We need to hop on. These areas here, we actually don't traverse by foot. We actually take the secrets because they're trained for this. There we go. And I trust my secret with my life. She's not going to go running off the edge or anything like that. It doesn't matter how hard I can pull over to the side, she's not going to jump. Let's hop down here. There we go. And there we go. Now this is one of the larger salamander species that we have here. They are also timid. A couple people tell me that they look something like they've seen at home. I always think they just look like a land narwhal, maybe without the horn. But yeah, they're timid as well. They just like to roam around. They actually feed off of the muck in here. This muck right here. They like to get down inside of it, and then they eat the worms and the grubs and stuff inside of there. Very, very pretty coloration on them, too. I love the beautiful blue hues. And the blue hue actually comes from the mineral deposits in the ground. So when the mineral deposits leach into the water supply, they lay into the water like that, and they will eventually end up absorbing those mineral deposits through their skin. It toughens the skin up. It gives them a blue hue. Yes, I see you there. Another wonderful day. And they just kind of hang out in the water side. You can see some of the older structures here. Now we call this the wilds. I came here after going to what we call the New World. This area has actually been around for probably 7 generations, I want to say. Maybe 8 generations. We had a couple guilds that came out here before, and they handled a lot of the setting up and contact with the native tribes. The native tribes here don't really want anything to do with us. They understand the conservation efforts, and they understand that we're trying to protect the wildlife as well as the people here. So they allow us to operate, but we have a contract or an agreement with them at this point that if anything does happen or were to happen to where their way of life is endangered, then we would stop operating. So, and we hold true to that. We're not going to actually violate that trust with them. That's why they allow us to work here. Here are some of the individuals. I don't speak a lot of their native tongue yet, but I am learning, and Alma is teaching me. Love this area. So this has been the basin. There's a lot of other places. This is a temple-like structure that the natives actually helped construct. I've been told that it has a lot of significance, but I haven't really dug into it very much yet. Hang on. Yeah, the grading is not that easy to walk on. Okay, let's get back over here. So, yeah, and this actually leads straight up to a part of the forge. They're working on something. They will not tell me what, though. They said it's going to be a cool project to actually watch. But this is a forge. This is the sleuth. And this is the mold area. So we'll see what they end up kind of forming. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. Let's hop over here. Can't go that way. Oh, and the Forge Master lives right here, by the way. If you can't tell. It's the entranceway. I got one more area I'd like to show. This is a little bit newer. You can tell it's a little bit newer because there's a lot of build-up on everything. It's not because it's kept clean. It's just because it's a little bit newer. Yet another kiln. They actually cook here. A lot of really good food. Really good food in this area. Love the food. A lot of fish. Let's see, what else do we got going on? There was something else I wanted to show you guys, and I cannot remember what. That's okay. Anyway, this has been the basin. And it's one of my favorite areas to explore, to hang out in. The native people here are very friendly. Everybody actually gets along. So can't complain. Yep, here's the melting pot. This is not for consumption. This is for something else. But you guys will find out about that later. All right. Well, that's been the basin. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Again, I have a channel. If you guys would like, subscribe so you can go ahead and watch more videos of me posting from the wilds. And Mom, I love you. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you all later.